Give me a minute and we'll look at the next 7 facts that the Hudson Institute has provided us regarding the war in Ukraine and the aid that we have sent. The first is that weapons the U.S. is sending to Ukraine do not impact America's ability to fight an Indo-Pacific conflict. Taiwan is an island. What we're going to need to fight for the security of an island are torpedoes, naval mines, Tomahawk cruise missiles, none of which have been sent to Ukraine. It's a completely different theater of operations. Because of lessons the U.S. learned by arming Ukraine, Taiwan is receiving weapons sooner. Because President Biden used the presidential drawdown authority to arm Ukraine, he was also able to arm Taiwan to the tune of $325 million, which would not have been sent to Taiwan if we weren't in the process of already invoking the presidential drawdown authority. Iran and North Korea enable Russia to attack Ukraine, and Russia supports Hamas. There is no American of conscience or any kind of awareness that doesn't understand that this axis of evil are our enemies. If Russia is permitted any wins here in Ukraine, it will be make no mistake, it will be a green light to the mullahs in Iran and the Kim regime that they can threaten their neighbors with nuclear annihilation and get what they want. Just the same way we have been listening to this nuclear blackmail from the Kremlin. It cannot be allowed. It can't be. Ukraine is not a new forever war. We're not even in this war. We have no boots on the ground. We are not a belligerent in this conflict. The Ukrainians are just asking for our help. They have not asked us to commit troops. They don't want our troops. They're handling the fight just fine themselves. We should respect that, we should arm them, and we should give them the help that they need to be successful in this fight against an unprovoked aggressor state. 12, the U.S. is not engaged in a proxy war against Russia. I am so sick and tired of hearing this. You know, by definition, a proxy war is when you get other people to do your fighting for you. That is not what has happened here. It was Russia. Make no mistake, it was Russia that committed 250,000 troops, poured them over the border, and tried to take Kyiv in a blitzkrieg. It failed. And now this guy in the Kremlin is just not man enough to admit he made a mistake and withdraw. And so instead, he continues this slaughter, not just of the Ukrainians, but of his own people, for no reason than to secure his own power and satisfy his own ego. The U.S. needs to provide both military and non-military aid to achieve the greatest effect. Of course it does, because Russia isn't just fighting the Ukrainian military. The Russians are targeting civilians. The Russians are targeting civilian infrastructure. The Russians are targeting not just energy infrastructure, but food security and food supplies of the Ukrainian people. They've evaporated 30% of the economy in doing this. For Ukraine to be successful, we need to help them on every front they are being attacked on. Half measures will avail us nothing. Claims that U.S. aid to Ukraine has cost $900 per American household and that the newly proposed aid package will add over $1,000 to the tax burden of every family of 4 in America are wildly misleading. It's nonsense. It's nonsense that does not understand we have a graduated tax system in the United States. This is just not true. The math on this is readily available for anybody that's interested. Just Google Hudson Institute, Ukraine facts, 14 facts about U.S. aid to Ukraine, and you can see the math for yourself. It's nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, at this critical inflection point in our history, there are forces that are trying to destabilize the rules-based world order that has led to all of the post-World War II peace and prosperity that we have come to take for granted. And they spout the nonsense claims as their arguments for why we shouldn't be involved. I beg you, I urge you, educate yourself on why these arguments are fallacious and why we must stand with Ukraine, one and all. Thank you.